up that I could do it and found that people easily accepted my checks.
Most people don't realize how gullible the average storekeeper is. So you can walk in with a picture, any identification that people can have made. Did you use various names?
Yes, I also use various occupations. For example, the airline pilot with Pan American.
Did you actually fly on a plane?
Well, I would fly up in the cockpit so that I could fly for free. And I had a uniform. How I got this idea.
How did you was it Pan Am?
Right.
How did you con them into that you,
Well, how I got this idea, it was time for me to leave New York since the police were looking for me, not only as a runaway,
good time to leave.
but with a bad check. And I happened to be walking up 42nd Street, and I saw this airline crew come out of a hotel, and I thought that would be the perfect front for me to be able to travel around the country posing as a pilot. Not only could I fly for free, but I would also be able to stay at hotels for free.
Because they do have reciprocal things, don't they, the airlines? I mean, that's what they call like deadheading. You can get on a plane.
Right.
If you're a member of one of the major airlines.
So the first thing to do is get a uniform, and so I called Pan American Airlines, got their switchboard, and asked for their purchasing department. I guess this was my first con, and when the purchasing officer came on, I told him that I was a pilot based in LA, was here in New York on a layover. Someone had stolen my uniform. Where could I get a replacement? And he sent me down to the uniform company and called up ahead, told them I was coming. They fitted me out. When he was done, the uniform manufacturer said, I said, how much is it? He said, well, it's $289. I said, well, I'll write you a check. He said, no, I can't take a check. I said, well, I'll pay you in cash. He said, no, I can't take cash. So I said, oh, he said, I have to bill this back to your payroll account and it'll be deducted from your uniform allowance. I said, oh, that's even better.
Oh, of course it is. He was pretty swift. He saw you, yeah. So in other words, you fill out a voucher and they sent the voucher back to Pan Am.
And I then had the uniform, but I didn't have an identification card. And so I went to a large manufacturer that I found in the Yellow Pages in New York of identification cards, and I told them that I represented an airline in Puerto Rico that was getting ready to expand service to the United States, hire on 200 new employees, and we wanted to go to a formal ID card. Well, he told me, that's fine. He said, let me show you some samples. I said, this is what we're looking for. And he said, okay, let me give you a sample to take back. And I said, could you fix it up? I mean, laminate it and make it look like a finished product. You can use me in the picture if you like. He said, oh, fine, have a seat. And the problem I had is when I left there, it had no name on it. It had no airline's insignia, no name, and it had already been laminated, so I couldn't type anything on or put anything on. So I walked by an airplane hobby shop, and I walked in and bought a little model of a Pan Am plane, and I took the decals out of the box and soaked them in water, put the little logo that would have went on the tail up on the check, up on the ID card, and then the word Pan Am, what would have went on the wing, across the ID card, and the clear decal on the plastic made a great card.